All right, welcome everybody to today's training on 10 steps to success. Again, my name is Jeremy Jenkins, and it is a super awesome day today because we're going to talk about step number 9, which is being a leader. This is the point we're really trying to make here is all the previous steps take you to this point, right? Once you've done all the other 8 steps, you've got defining your why you're here, what it is that's motivating you. You've started creating your team and figured out who your generals are going to be, who's your captains, who's all the the people on your team that you're going to work with. You've set your goals, you've committed, you started doing some personal development, you've stayed connected, right? You learned how to invite, and you've learned the biz. Now it's time to be a leader, to step it up. Okay, so let's talk about that today and find out what it really means. There's a gentleman by the name of John Maxwell who is very famous if you're in anything to do with leadership and entrepreneurism and all that. And he wrote a book called The 5 Levels of Leadership. So this is adapted from his book. And what we're going to talk about today is how to advance from the first level all the way up to the 5th level if possible. Okay, but the idea is this: we've got to advance, right? We can't just say I'm a leader just because. Okay, there are certain things that prove that you're actually a leader and a certain level of leadership. Okay, so the first position has to do with rights, and that means people follow you because they have to. So you could say, you know what, that's like being the boss at a job, or a supervisor or something like that, where, you're the boss, right? So if somebody's late to work, you can say, hey, you need to show up on time or you're fired, right? So the person's like, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, they do it because they have to, right? So you're a leader just because you have a title. That's it, okay? And that's okay, but it's not what we want, right? We want more to it than that. So the second level of leadership is what we call permission, or in other words, it has to do with your relationship. So people follow you because they want to, right? That's really a step in the right direction, okay? So we can all of a sudden say to somebody, hey, we've been friends, right? You like me, you know me, you trust me a little bit, right? Hey, I'm doing this thing. We're gonna be able to make more money and and travel the world and have all these fun things and stuff. Would you take a look, right? And so that person now says, oh, yeah, okay, I'll follow you because they want to, because they know you, they like you, right? They maybe trust you a little bit, okay? And so that's good. And that's where probably most people are at, right? When we're trying to do this, where we're building a team, an organization, whatever, trying to do, make some money. That's what happens. People, we talk to them, they're our warm list, right? They're people we know, and they'll follow us. They'll take a look at it because they like us and they want to, do it as a friend, okay? Now, what we really want to get, and this is what we've been trying to do with these 10 steps to success, is to get into level 3, all right? So level 3 has to do with what we call production. So this is where you have now results, okay? People are now following you because what you have done, because what you've achieved. So you now have these results you can talk about, right? You can now say, hey, I actually made some money. Hey, look, I actually saved money on this trip I took. Or, hey, look, we actually went on, a vacation to Mexico and because, the program, and look what it did for us. And, oh, wow, okay. Now you have something that people can look at and see, and they want to follow you because they see that you've done it. Right? They see that you've actually, been there, and that you could maybe possibly show them how to do it themselves, right? So that's really the next step here, is to get us to that production level. Then over a little bit more time, what happens is you become step number 4, or a level 4 leader, which is all about people development, which means people follow you because of what you have done for them now, right? Where all of a sudden now it's like, oh, wow, I follow so-and-so because I did so and I made money. And now I saved money, and now I have a team, and now I hit a certain rank and all that stuff, right? And so, it's like, oh, okay, yep. Now you can say that they're a true leader because not only did they have success themselves, but they helped me to have success. And because of that, I'm going to follow them, right? Wherever. And then, of course, the final one is the pinnacle. And that's where you become, like an icon, right? It's the respect level. It's people follow you because of who you are and what you represent, right? So that one's harder to get to. In fact, I would say, maybe most of us won't ever achieve that one in our lives, but that would be like a John Maxwell, right? Who wrote the book. I mean, you hear the name John Maxwell, or you hear the name, Jim Rohn, or you hear, certain names, and you're just like, oh yeah, of course, oh yeah, maybe a Robert Kiyosaki, right, who wrote the Rich Dad Poor Dad books. And if all of a sudden Robert Kiyosaki is saying, hey, come do this, it's like, oh, well, that's Robert Kiyosaki, of course. I'm going to follow his advice because he's an icon, right? So that's where we hopefully maybe someday could get as a level 5. But in the meantime, let's work on getting to level 3 and level 4 leadership, where we're having some results and we're also helping our team have some results. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, as I mentioned, the first one, position. Okay, it's just basic entry-level leadership. It's, hey, he's my my leader just because he's my sponsor, right? Something like that. All right, it's just a title. That's it. Okay, and so it's not that bad. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that all supervisors are bad or all bosses are bad or not, whatever. They're not, right? Some bosses are really cool and they'll work with you and whatever. But what we want to do is we want to go on to the second level, right? So what do we do? Well, we know what our work consists of, right? What things we have to do to develop ourselves and develop our business and so on. We have to know the history of the company, right? We have to relate, the history of the company with our team. We have to accept responsibility, and we have to offer creative ideas for change and improvement. So if we start to do that, now we're going to be able to get to level 2, right? So now at level 2, we're now working with people because they want to work with us, because they see, that we actually care and that we're actually offering something that's worth looking at. And, and they can see that, we have our energy and our time is focused on the needs of the team, right? Not just on ourselves, okay? And of course, at this point, we're going to start establishing those lasting relationships with our team, because that's the bottom line. Networking is a business that is maintained thanks to those long-lasting relationships. So now to go on to level 3, right? So remember, level 3 is about production. It's about results. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have a genuine love for people. We're going to help make our team members more successful, right? And that could mean, literally like, hey, you know what? I already have, 10 people that I personally enrolled. So at this point, I want to see who needs help, right? Because, I don't need it anymore, right? Some leaders I've seen are very selfish, and they're just like, nope, everybody I personally enroll is for me, right? And they personally enroll them all, and they don't even worry. And so, and they're like, well, I'll help you, right? To talk to somebody, I'll do a 3-way call with you or whatever, but they're never willing to actually give, a sponsorship away or something. So I would recommend, hey, at this point, I have a genuine love for my people. I'm going to help them out, right? I have enough for me. So now I'm going to go help my team. I'm going to make sure that they have enough. Okay, we're going to make sure the team is successful. We're going to accompany others on their journey. We're going to treat people wisely, right? We're going to make sure that they're taken care of and happy. And now all of a sudden we're at level 3 production. Okay, and this is where things start to happen. Good things. This is where the profits increase. This is where the mood rises. This is where needs are met. This is where goals are achieved. Along with this growth comes momentum. Okay, so we're leading and influencing others, and it's a pleasant thing. Every member is results oriented, so the problems are resolved faster. The team starts to meet and achieve a purpose, okay? And they're all following you because you have helped them have results, right? So this is where, we're now going to start to initiate and accept the responsibility to grow. We're going to develop and follow a statement of purpose. We're going to start putting, work and energy as an integral part of our purpose statement. We're going to identify and do things that provide higher payout, right? We're going to communicate strategy and vision to the team, and we're going to be a change agent and detect when the time is right. Okay, then of course, now we're at number 4, human development, right? So now we're all about reproduction or duplication. Success without this, without it being passed on to others, is failure. It really is. So that's why we have to have duplication in what we're doing. The main responsibility of a leader is to train others to do the job. Loyalty to the leader reaches its highest level when the one that follows him has grown personally thanks to the leadership of the leader. And at this level, the follower is loyal to the leader. You know why? Because you win people's hearts when you help them grow. A leader does not create followers. A leader creates more leaders. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, right? Creating more leaders. Okay, and then of course, finally, the characteristics to go to the 5th level are, you have to understand that people are your most valuable asset, give priority to the development of people, be a model that others imitate, expose growth and opportunities to key leaders, and attract other winners towards that common goal, and give from the heart, okay? And now you're at the pinnacle, right? Now, most of us have not reached this level. Only a lifetime of proven leadership will allow us to reach level 5 and reap that satisfying reward for all eternity, right? But here's where your followers are loyal. You have spent years directing and training leaders. You have become a mentor, and you're sought after by others. Your greatest satisfaction is observing the development and growth of others, and you transcend the organization, right? It's absolutely awesome once you become the pinnacle. So that's the goal. That is the goal. Now, to do that, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do something I call lateral leadership, right? These are principles that leaders practice to lead laterally with your partners, right? Your business partners. So principle number 1 of lateral leadership is understand, practice, and complete the circle of leadership. In other words, we are really valuing the people. We're knowing the people. We're respecting the people. We're adding value to the people, right? We're sharing what we have. We're validating recognition, right? That's a key component here. Recognition. You're praising them, saying positive things, right? You do a shout out when somebody achieves a new rank or a new income level, whatever. We influence them. Okay, this is after having developed all the previous steps, and then we succeed with them, right? We don't succeed, or we do not use them to succeed. We succeed with them. Okay, that's principle number 1. Principle number 2 is complement your fellow leaders rather than compete with them, right? Because we're going to see that. We're going to have, different legs, different groups of leadership in the company. And so instead of making it a competition, right, we want to actually complement, right? So what does that look like? Well, if we're competing, it's always, scarcity. It's all me first. It's, oh, the trust is destroyed. It's some win and others lose. It's individualistic thinking. It's exclusion, right? We don't want any of that. We want to complement. We want an abundance mindset. We want to think about the organization first. And then we develop trust, and we both can win, right? And collective thinking and the inclusion of others, right? I've seen this a lot of times in previous opportunities I've been in where, leaders will do meetings or whatever, and they'll say, oh, no, you're from the other leg, you're from the other team, you're not welcome at our meeting. I've seen that. And it's not good, right? And so, no, we don't want to do that. We want to be able to say, hey, anybody's welcome, right? It doesn't matter for, who your sponsorship line is. Come, right? Come, more the merrier. It's more exciting with more people and stuff, and not think about, the scarcity mindset, right? Not worry so much, oh, there's going to be, he's going to steal my people, or, she's a better presenter than I am, and so she's going to take the, don't do that. Don't ever think that. What we have is so amazing that it doesn't matter. There's enough people and it's okay. Right? And if we all can have that same attitude and the organization first, then it's actually going to work out and everybody wins. Okay. It can be a win-win. All right. Principle number 3, being a friend, right? Henry Ford said, your friend is the one who brings out the best in you. Yeah. Okay. Principle number 4 is we're going to avoid office politics, right? We're going to lean on production, not politics. Great people talk about ideas. Average people talk about themselves, and insignificant people talk about others, right? We don't want to do that. We want to be all about ideas and production. Principle number 5 is expanding your circle of acquaintances. To expand your influence, you have to expand the circle of acquaintances beyond your routine, beyond personal bias, beyond your experience, beyond your group, and beyond your strengths. And not be scared to talk to people who you think might be at a higher level than you, right? That's a really key thing is, remember, we have the cookie, right? We have the answer. We have a solution that can help so many people. It doesn't matter if they're already a millionaire. This could be so valuable to them, right? The product and the offering and everything. Of course, this is valuable. So why not, right? Don't be the kind of person that only shares it with, people you think are less than you. No, go out and find those big hitters and talk to them and share it, because you know what? They're probably going to see the value. They're going to go, oh yeah, this is awesome. I want to be part of that. And they're going to do it. Okay. So principle number 6, let the best idea win. The most important things are ideas. And principle number 7 is don't pretend to be perfect. It has to be authentic in the current environment. Admit your flaws, ask for advice, worry less about what others think, learn from the others, and leave pride and appearances behind. If we can do that, we have that lateral leadership. If we're working alongside, right? That's what lateral means, is alongside, right? Parallel. Okay. So we're working with our team. We're not, always out in front of our team. We're not the supervisor that's saying, hey, you have to do this, right? Go do it while I sit back and relax. No, lateral leadership means we're alongside our team, our people. We're out there in the trenches. We're doing it, and we're humble, and we're with them, and we're having success together. That's what it means. Okay. So in conclusion, great leaders don't tell you what to do. They show you how it's done. Okay. So put your best foot forward. Make a sacrifice, because it always is, right? It's always a sacrifice, putting, that Netflix series you want to watch on hold for a little bit while you do this. It's always a sacrifice to, take some time in the evening when you could be, watching the football game or the basketball game or whatever, right? And come and jump on a call or a Zoom. It's a sacrifice. You got to go beyond the normal. Okay. You got to take a step above. It's coming up, waking up early on a Saturday morning to jump on these trainings, right? That's what it is. And then you make those calls, you send those messages, you call your upline, you take it serious, right? Because if you are successful, it's your own fault, right? And if you fail, it is your own fault. It's nobody else's fault. Okay. It's all on you. It's what did you do? Have you done all the previous 8 steps in this 10-step process to be able to achieve success? So if we do all the things we've talked about up until now it's time to help our team do them, right? That's where, if you want to get to a level 4 of leadership, that's what you need to do. You need to do these 10 steps yourself, and now you need to teach them to your team, okay? And I want to challenge you today to think, oh, okay, who are my main leaders, right? Who are the maybe the first 3, 4, or 5 people that I've enrolled into the business and they're doing things. Have I shared the 10 steps with them? Have I, gone out and said, hey, you know what? Have you seen these 10 steps to success? If you haven't, here's some links, right? Or even sit down and watch it with them, right? Go back, get the recording and say, hey, you know what? Let's take a little bit here. Let's take, 15 minutes a day and watch these 10 steps, right? Because they're not that long, right? We're trying to keep them short, right? So, 15, 20 minutes at the most. So you could do that, right? As a leader, you could go and sit down with your team or, individually, or maybe in a small group setting and rewatch, right? These 10 steps so that they get them and they understand and they can now become a leader themselves, right? Because that's our ultimate goal, is to create other leaders. All right. Well, thanks everybody for jumping on. Hopefully that gives you an idea of what you need to do to be a leader and go out and move from level 1 leadership up to, at least level 3, level 4, and eventually someday become a level 5 leader. That's my wish for you. So we'll go ahead and finish today. Thanks so much. And join me next week. We're going to finish off step number 10. It's all about the golden rule, and you're going to love it. All right. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.